To quickly screen for peripheral field loss, we use the confrontation field method. With confrontation fields, the examiner confronts or faces the client, sitting about an arm's length away. The examiner has the client look at her nose or eye throughout testing. Traditionally, we then position our hands in the periphery between the client and examiner and ask people to count fingers or detect a finger wiggle to determine if the client can see or cannot see in an area of the periphery.
Steve, I'd like you to keep looking at my nose.
Okay.
As you look at my nose, tell me how many fingers you see here.
3.
And here.
1.
And here.
5.
Here.
1.
Here.
We found that when testing people with brain injury that this method did not give us precise and reliable visual fields. So we developed an instrument that we call the wands. The wand is made of durable ABS plastic and is less than a foot long. It features a wide viewing angle LED which can be dimmed with a knob on the bottom of the device. It also features a cupped occluder head, so it can double up as an occluder, making it very useful for monocular confrontation testing and eye movement testing, if used as a pair. The front of the occluder head can accommodate magnetic fixation targets or light filters. The trigger switch to toggle the LED is ergonomically located on the side of the wand handle. Now, the wands are a multi-testing tool, allowing us to perform confrontation fields in people with cognitive and attentional impairments, as well as people who have neither of those problems. Instead of counting fingers, we flash a light, making the task much simpler. With the wands, we can measure fields more precisely and reliably than using hands. The target is a light with a black background, so visibility of the target is less affected by the background behind the examiner. The target is also small, allowing us to more precisely measure the extent of a blind area than with hands.
So now, still looking at my nose, I want you to point to the target when you see it. Good. Good.
First, we test an area expected to have normal vision to make sure the client understands instructions, asking the client to point to or tell us when the light flashed.
Good.
Sometimes clients who cannot suppress saccades will look at the light as soon as they see it.
Good.
Then we test the area where we suspect a vision loss, being very careful not to be predictable. Then we move the continuous lit target to define the edge of a blind area. Now, note with the wands, we can do this without giving away our target motion by moving our arms. And this is a problem when you're measuring confrontation fields using the traditional method of count fingers or looking at a finger wiggle. Functionally, we test both eyes first and then can test with each eye as well. The wands are constructed like an eye occluder, so one wand can be used to cover an eye for monocular testing. And this procedure can be completed in just a couple of minutes. People with brain injury often have eye movement problems as well as visual field loss. So in addition to cover testing, the wands can be used to administer a very sensitive but an easily administered screening for abnormal eye movements called the red glass test or red-green glass test. With the red-green glass test, the client looks through the red-green glasses at the light. Using the occluder, the examiner teaches the client what they should be looking for, either a red or a green light.
Good. And how about now?
That's green.
Good. Now this time.
Or a mixture of red and green, which looks sort of yellowish to the client. The examiner flashes the light while moving it to test the full range of eye movement, as well as convergence. If the eye has a limited range of motion or cannot converge, the eyes will not move together, and a strabismus will result. And the client will report seeing two lights.
Now this time I want you to follow my light and tell me if you see two lights at all.
Okay, I see one yellow, two,
2 here.
2, yeah.
Okay.
2. Now it's 1 yellow light.
Okay, and here?
That's 1. Okay. And then it's 1.
Good.
1. Now it broke into 2 again.
Here?
Yeah.
Do the
Still
2 dots
2.
get closer together or further apart?
They're about the same distance.
About the same. And how about if I go back up? Closer together or further apart?
About the same.
And there's still 2 the whole time?
Yep.
Okay.
There's one right next to the other.
Good.
Now
Tell me when it splits into 2.
okay, still 1, 1, 1. Okay, now it's 2.
2
Just
here?
very close. This test will elicit diplopia in cases where a person would not report a problem without the red-green glasses test. So it has very high sensitivity. The small light on the black background allows the double vision to be seen more easily than using a larger pen light. The wands can be used by anyone to quickly and easily administer one of the most sensitive measures of oculomotor dysfunction. The test is only valid if a person has intact visual fields, so confrontation fields should be performed with this test. And fortunately, the wands can be used for measuring confrontation fields as well as evaluating eye movements.